Hello everybody, this is Braxwolf and I'm here with a Guild Wars 2 first impressions. I kind of put that in quotes because I've been playing Guild Wars 2 for several months now. And also because Guild Wars 2 is actually a pretty old game, but I don't have a first impressions video yet, and I'm going to do one here. First of all, you can see I'm playing my Char right now. I wanted to make a couple points about the Char. He's one of my favorite characters to play just because of the way he looks. And the way that they have animated the Char is pretty cool. He's a Mesmer, so he's got this big, huge broadsword, but he really only uses it for magic spells and stuff like that. But I wanted to make a couple points about the Char first. See, the Char is one of the more unique animations in the game as far as movement. He runs on all fours when he doesn't have his weapon drawn. Kind of wish that he'd go a little bit faster when he was on all fours. That would be kind of a cool little touch for this race, since probably realistically animals would run faster on four legs than they would on two if four is their natural position. But wanted to kind of show that first of all. It's kind of the same speed as he takes when he's walking. Second of all, a couple things about the Mesmer I wanted to show off because it's just kind of a neat class. Gotta find somebody to fight here. I guess this hyena's asking for it. See, the Mesmer actually makes copies of himself to fight other people. That's kind of a unique way of doing it. It's kind of strange for a Char. Char you think of being kind of a melee tough class, not as much of a magic user class, but I find it's kind of neat to have copies of your Char running around. You can see on Guild Wars 2, these first 5 skills over here on the left hand side are all based on the type of weapon that you're wielding. So all of these 5 skills are there because of the broadsword that I've got. On the other side are skills that you unlock as you progress through the game and spend what are called skill points, which you earn doing different things within the game. These are the skills that show up on the right hand side of your bar. Everybody has a healing skill, and then there's 4 other skills actually that you can unlock and place here as you level up, specific to your profession. Profession are classes in Guild Wars 2 if you weren't aware of that. Probably show a little bit more combat on my engineer here before too long because he's my highest level character. In fact, let's do that now. He's my Asura. So here's my Asura. He's my engineer. He's level 65 right now. Level cap is 80 in Guild Wars 2 and will always be 80 in Guild Wars 2 if you believe what they said in the latest expansion announcement. They're not going to raise the level cap ever again for this game. So that was kind of an interesting development. Engineer, as you can see, has all of his skills unlocked over here. His probably most powerful one is the last one on the outside, and I've chosen to be able to build a golem with that skill. It will last for about 60 seconds. He'll attack whatever I attack. Not too difficult in this starter area here. One cool thing about Guild Wars 2, if you weren't aware, is that it will down level you. So for this area, even though my guy is level 65, he still gets into some formidable fights because got a shield. Because if you see down here, he's down level to level 9, and these guys he's fighting are about level 7 or level 8. So there's no running through areas and not getting touched in Guild Wars 2. No such thing as that. It's kind of nice if you have characters, your friends have characters that are a different level than yours. You can all play together no matter what your level. Another cool thing about the engineer here, I'll show you real quick, is that you can put down turrets. Used to Lotro, where the Runekeeper actually has a healing stone he can put down. It heals within a certain radius, heals over time. Engineer has something similar in the form of a turret. This turret put down will heal me over time. Also have offensive turrets. There's a rocket. One of my favorite turrets can help you out with your DPS as you're bleeding them to death with your conditions. the rocket can be hitting them. And sometimes the turrets can actually be used as a tank for you too. Engineer is a medium armor class, so it's not the most durable, even though it's not as squishy as a light armor. It's kind of nice to have a rocket turret tanking for you occasionally. So I kind of alluded to earlier, everybody has a healing skill. Mine is the healing turret at this point. Get rid of my turrets. That's because basically Guild Wars 2 has said we're not going to make specific professions only fulfill specific roles. If you're a engineer, you can build yourself up to be a tank if you want. You can build yourself up for high DPS. All kinds of things that you can do. Everybody can fulfill whatever role they're more comfortable with whichever profession they prefer to play. As far as the landscape is concerned, very pretty game. It looks like a painting. That's one of the ways I've heard it described. One of the cool things about the game is that they've got these points in it that are called vistas. They're usually high points. They're somewhat difficult to get to. They make it a challenge to figure out a way to get up there. And when you get to them, you can actually do a kind of like an Assassin's Creed 360-degree view of your surrounding areas, which gives you a nice idea of how beautiful the area is that you're in. I'm going to try and get to one here because there's one up here. Obviously, the higher the vantage point, the more of the landscape you can see. So we'll go over here to this vista and take a look around. Very beautiful. Kind of in the Asura starter area, so there's a lot of little force fields around, as you can see. One of the things I didn't mention before was when I talked about these 5 skills over here being from your weapon, kind of the interesting thing about that is that you can kind of swap your main hand and offhand weapons around to switch your skills. So, for example, if I wanted to dual wield instead of have a pistol and a shield like I do right now, I could go over to my equipment, swap out my shield for another pistol, and if you watch these skills down here, number 4 and 5, that are shield skills, they'll swap out to be 2 different skills. Now I've got a flame skill and a slowdown skill, kind of a shooting glue on the ground, although I've never seen a gun do that. That's kind of a neat idea. As far as the business model is concerned, Guild Wars 2 is still buy to play. Buy the box copy once, play it forever. Whole game start to finish. You can purchase things in the in-game store, which is called the Black Lion Trading Company in this game. Mostly cosmetic items and little fun things like mini pets that follow you around. Nothing that would constitute as pay to win that I've seen so far anyway. And one of the nice things is while some games will put convenience items in the store and then design the game around having greater grind so as to kind of persuade you to buy those convenience items like, let's just say Slayer Deed Accelerators or something like that. Guild Wars 2 does not seem to have any additional grind built into it to encourage that type of purchase. Do a little bit more combat here and show you how movement actually affects. In this game you can dodge, double tap will dodge. I can also kite. I was going to say, did that panther just explode or spontaneously combust? He just left. You can kite and your movement actually does affect whether the foe hits you or not. It's not like some other games where you can move, but that doesn't affect the enemy's chances of hitting you. In this game, it does. It's a lot easier to evade somebody if you're on the move while you're attacking someone. So it's a lot more action-oriented, and one of the things I noted in my blog post was that when I first started playing, I thought this limited skill bar would really affect my enjoyment of the game because there's not very many skills on it. But when you consider that there's an aspect of movement along with the skills that you're hitting, that is another interesting kind of part of the equation. So makes it feel like makes it feel a lot more action oriented because there's a movement element along with the firing off of your skills in a strategic fashion. You see, I did not dodge that fireball very well. Just as a side note, the expansion that's coming out this year is supposed to also be buy to play, so they do not plan to add subscriptions to the game. Kind of nice if you're a consumer. It gives you a choice as to whether you want to continue to buy convenience items or if you just want to pay one time and play the game for however long you've got it. So it's really probably my favorite business model of anything I've seen. Elder Scrolls 2 is doing something similar, except they are going to offer a subscription option when they go buy to play. So we'll see if ESO does anything to encourage these subscriptions over the buy to play option. Overall, really impressed with Guild Wars 2. This is my third try of getting into it, and I've finally really gotten into it. Like I said before, I like the landscape. I like the different animations for the different races, except maybe humans. Not really my favorite in this game. For whatever reason, their animation movement really kind of bothers me. But as far as the more cartoony races like the Char and the Asura, really think they did a good job with the animations, making them feel like they're a different race other than human, giving you some nice customization options on the character creation screen. Makes it feel unique. Enjoy it quite a bit. Been spending a lot of time in Guild Wars 2 and probably will in the future. So let me know what you think. See if you agree or disagree with me. Go ahead and leave a comment either on the blog post or the video. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.